He never wrote a single word. He left behind no books, no essays, no manifestos. And yet more than 2,000 years later, his questions still echo in every classroom, courtroom, and cafe conversation about life, truth, and morality. But who was Socrates? The man who laid the foundation of Western philosophy without writing a single word. Welcome to 1,000-Year Personalities. And in this episode, we're going back to ancient Athens to explore the life, mind, and death of one of history's most enigmatic figures, Socrates. Our story begins in Athens around 469 BCE. Socrates was not born into fame or wealth. His father was a stonemason, his mother a midwife. And perhaps that origin tells us more than we think. Because Socrates, too, claimed to be a kind of midwife, but of ideas. He didn't consider himself a teacher. In fact, he often said he knew nothing. What he did instead was ask questions. Relentless, uncomfortable, piercing questions. He walked the streets of Athens barefoot and ragged, speaking to politicians, poets, craftsmen, challenging them with what became his signature method, asking and asking and asking again. He was awkward, odd-looking, with a flat nose and bulging eyes, nothing like the elegant philosophers we imagine. But people couldn't ignore him. He had a gift for exposing ignorance, even in the wisest of men, and that made him a threat. Socrates didn't believe in giving answers. He believed in dialogue. His method, what we now call the Socratic method, involved asking questions that dug deeper into assumptions, logic, and beliefs. You think justice is giving people what they deserve? But what is deserve? Who decides? You say courage is standing firm in battle, but is a reckless fool also courageous? His conversations weren't easy. They were confrontational, even humiliating for those on the receiving end. But in every question, Socrates was searching for clarity, what he called virtue, or the good life. To him, the unexamined life was not worth living. He saw philosophy not as a subject, but as a way of living. He refused to accept money for his teachings. He didn't lecture, he conversed. And those conversations began to shake the foundations of Athens. By 399 BCE, Socrates had become more than just a local eccentric. He was seen by many as a dangerous influence on the youth. He questioned traditional gods. He challenged authority. He made powerful people look foolish. And so, he was put on trial. The charges? Corrupting the youth of Athens, and impiety, failing to recognize the gods of the city. He stood before a jury of 500 Athenian citizens. Most men would have begged for mercy. Socrates didn't. He spoke with the same calm logic he always had. He even told the court he believed he deserved a reward, not a punishment. The jury sentenced him to death. He was offered chances to escape. He refused them. And so in his final hours, surrounded by friends, Socrates drank a cup of poison hemlock. His last words? Crito, we owe a cock to Asclepius. Do not forget to pay the debt. A cryptic sentence, perhaps thanking the god of healing, as if death was a kind of cure. Socrates never wrote anything. Everything we know about him comes from his students, especially Plato, who turned Socratic dialogues into philosophical art. But Socrates' spirit went on to influence generations, from Plato to Aristotle, from Descartes to Nietzsche. The Socratic method is now a staple in law schools, classrooms, and debate halls around the world. More importantly, his way of thinking, questioning deeply, seeking virtue, embracing humility, has become a moral compass for entire civilizations. He died more than 2,400 years ago. But somehow, the world has never stopped listening. Socrates asks us not to blindly accept what we're told, but to think deeply, honestly, and courageously. He lived not to impose ideas, but to awaken minds. And maybe that's why, in every age, in every culture, there's always someone, just like you, who hears the whisper of that ancient question. What is the right thing to do? Thank you for watching 1,000-Year Personalities. If this episode made you think, give it a like, share it with someone curious, and subscribe for more timeless lives that shape the world. Until next time, keep questioning, because that's where wisdom begins.